just have to take the cold way more seriously. It's just a whole different world when at the end of the day, no matter what you've done, whether it was raining or snowing or you're sweating, you're cold, it's like, okay, I'm still outside.
Riding a bicycle from Saskatoon to Vancouver in the middle of winter. That's how Elijah is doing his part to help fight the opioid crisis. The Saskatchewan man set off on the journey 29 days ago, arriving here in Jackpool Plaza in downtown Vancouver on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. When I'm here now, it's really easy to think about, oh yeah, it was pretty easy, but I know there's so many moments where I'm just like, wow, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. With the pandemic, it was hard to sit anywhere, and there's nowhere to sit in Alberta, so you just can't like warm up and sit, so you just have to like do all these sorts of different tricks.
I mean, obviously the weather's going to play a big role. How did Mother Nature treat you?
Mother Nature, she was very, very kind. I had some very tough headwinds in the beginning. At first I was a little bitter about it, but as soon as I got to the Rockies, it was really smooth sailing.
He says he got his big push by meeting and talking with homeless people in a number of communities.
You start to see how real it is. And I think that's one of the big things is a lot of people, they don't realize just how real it is. And even if you're walking around Hastings and you see it, it's just, people become dissociated. And so I think to me, it's just a matter of empathy. That's all it is, and we all have the capability of that.
Now, Elijah had hoped to raise $10,000, but instead has collected well over $23,000. That money is going to Moms Stop the Harm, an advocacy and outreach group founded by 3 women who lost their sons to the opioid crisis. Members of that group were there to welcome him to the city.
Well, I mean, he's an amazing young man, and he's done an amazing thing. So it's been really neat to see him. We've been following his progress all along.
A lot of people here on the West Coast, they say, oh, you know, it's a wet cold. It's just as bad as the prairies. Maybe it's even worse. You had a chance to kind of experience both in a short time span. Which one's actually worse?
Yeah, it's a lot of people do say that. I don't know, it depends, it varies. I mean, when I'm cycling, a wet cold is better because when you're moving, it really doesn't matter. When you're moving in the dry cold, your core can be warm, but your skin is still burning. This big backpack is just a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, so it's pretty huge, but that's what keeps me warm every single night, no matter what, so I'm pretty grateful for that. Shovel, I've got my tent. In these ones, I have pretty much just insulating layers, including ski pants and a spare winter jacket. In the front, I've got another big winter jacket that I usually keep readily accessible.
After spending some time in Vancouver, Elijah will then continue his journey to Vancouver Island. In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.